2, 3, 4. Wine of the week. This is your wine of the week. What's the wine you got this time? It's the wine of the week. Woo! Hey everybody, welcome to Niagara Wine Videos. I'm Brad and I bring you this story behind Niagara's finest wines. And this, my friends, is your wine of the week. It comes from the Foreign Affair and it's a 2011. It's called The Conspiracy. And this wine here is a mix of 85% Cabernet Sauvignon and 15% Cabernet Franc. And it's produced using a method called the Ripasso method, which originally was developed in northern Italy in the region of Valpolicella to create wines with more flavor complexities and structure to give more weight and full body to the wine. The original method that was created was called appassimento, and it was used to create the wines that are called Amarone or Amarone. Now these wines can get incredibly rich and concentrated, sometimes even sweet. These wines are very sought after and they are very expensive. The Foreign Affair winery has implemented this method here in the Canadian region, here in the Niagara region. They've been quite successful. They've made some really nice full-bodied wines that have really nice flavors that are smooth and luxurious. And they've added that full-body character that a lot of wines here in the Niagara region are lacking, right? So for people that like the richness of Italian, Australian, or California wines, they're really gonna like the wines at a Foreign Affair. Now this wine is called The Conspiracy. So I guess the conspiracy here is that they're using this method, this Italian method, which is not native to Canada, not to the Niagara region. So they've implemented it here, and so far it's turning out pretty good. Now the owner of this winery was actually, he used to work in Italy. I think he actually used to be the Canadian ambassador, and he lived in Italy. So he fell in love with the wines, obviously, and wanted to bring, that here, that method. So that's again why it's called the Foreign Affair. So he's tied all his language in the bottle and on his winemaking to his thoughts. So that's kind of neat. So again, this wine here, they use the Ripasso method. So basically they're just repassing the grapes that they used in the first wine, the appassimento wine, to make this one. Again, the method is drying a portion of the grapes so they become raisiny, really dried out, and the sugars are concentrated. They become very intense. So it's holding back a portion of the grapes, drying them, and then adding them back into the fermentation process. That's the first wine. The second wine is reusing those skins again to make a second wine, the Ripasso wine. These wines are typically a bit cheaper, and in my mind, or my opinion, I like them even a little bit better because they're not as sweet and concentrated. They're more fresh, and I like that. So this wine here, aside from being cheaper, is quite delicious and fresh. The alcohol is only 13.1%, which is really neat. This wine has got a great nose. It smells like black cherry, blackberry, cassis, a little bit of vanilla, and also a little bit of leather, which is nice. On the palate, it's really rich, incredibly structured, and it's got a solid, stiff backbone of acidity, which I really liked. It's when it hits your mouth, it's really dry and grippy. So in my opinion, it was very balanced, very structured, passes the 90-point test very easily. The flavor complexities maybe could be a little better, but I imagine as it ages, they will develop further. This is only a 2011. But on the palate, I did get consistent flavors with the nose, blackberry, black cherry, leather, and a little bit of vanilla oak. So, you know, another thing, this wine was not really over oaked. It was only oaked for 14 months in French and American oak, but it's not obnoxious in the wine. It's not really woodsy. It's more subdued, and it's more integrated with the other flavors, which is really nice. So this is a really, really nice bottle of wine, despite the cheesy label on the front. But I guess one thing that this label has done has brought it attention because it sticks out like a sore thumb on the shelf. So the brand identity is definitely there. A Foreign Affair 2011 Conspiracy. That is your wine of the week. Cheers, guys.